Hi there. This is me. I was waiting for some webinar students that hadn't turned up. And, the webinar strategy isn't going very well, if I'm being truthful. I think that might be my responsibility. Well, it always is, isn't it? Because there's only me here. I think it's because I don't send them the webinar link directly. I kind of assume that they're going to work out that it's on their student dashboard. So my bad. I'm going to keep on with the webinar strategy for sure, because I want to introduce people to the general principles of the birthing awareness three-step process. This isn't a live. I am going to do lives once I get the streaming software sorted out, learn it, know how to use it, all of that stuff. So I am working on it. This shift that I've made in business model is a scary one. It really is scary because my day to day, week to week, month to month living expenses don't go away while I'm building a group of committed, passionate about similar things to me, sharing my values. I don't need to like them all. That's not that important. I mean, ideally, I want to like them. I want to be friends with them. I'm saying them, it's you I'm talking about. I've got a light down here and it's casting an interesting shadow. How's that? That's different. I don't know whether it's better. Yeah, you decide in the comments. Yeah, so I'm moving away from what am I moving away from? I'm moving towards everybody being able to access the training that I deliver, if they want to. So what does that mean? It means that money won't hold you back from training with me. That if you have financial challenges like we all do, you'll still be able to train with me. I'm encouraging you to go to my Patreon page and support the work I'm doing at £2 a month. And I imagine all of you could do that. Now, all of you won't. And that's right. I mean, all of you won't. Why not? Well, because you don't share the passion. You don't share my vision. You don't share my values. What's my ultimate goal? My ultimate goal is to transform the experience of birthing women in the UK. And at the moment, it's not great. I speak to professionals pretty much every week who work with postnatal women, and they tell me that the experiences of these women are horrendous. Not just average, are horrendous. Sorry about the dogs. I'm doing it like a live, and I'm not going to edit. So, and I don't need to be told that because, over 30 years of working as a midwife, I have been there firsthand and witnessed other colleagues, medical colleagues, saying things, doing things that make me cringe. And then on top of that, you've got the institutional constraints, the guidelines, all of this kind of stuff that really mitigates against a woman having a fantastic birth experience. And I'm with Michelle O'Don. The quality of our birthing makes a difference to the quality of our life, our experience of being alive. So, my ultimate goal is to transform the experience of birthing women across the UK and ultimately the world, I guess, if I'm being a megalomaniac. Make birth great again. Well, I'm not sure it's ever been great, but that's my goal. My interim milestone is to make sure that everyone can access my training free at the point of delivery. Now, in order to do that, I need you. I need you to, to contribute financially. £2 a month, great. There are other tiers that you can join with, and at the moment, everyone gets everything, but in the future, only some supporters will get some things and others will get others. But I'm doing this now for the rest of my life. And I'm using this model for the rest of my life. Now, my trainings are still going to be up for sale. In fact, they're probably going up in price by £200, probably. But there are other ways you can pay for this training. You can join a tier on Patreon and pay over 8 months currently, but it will be longer when the training goes up. You can pay outright £195 now, but it's probably going to be £395. I think my training should be priced to be comparable with the marketplace, and 195 is far cheaper than anything out there. And the resources that go with my training and the one-to-one support that go with my training make it worth in the marketplace far more than 195. But you can also apply for a funded place if you have no funds. You can apply and potentially get a code to join the training for free at the point of delivery. Now, eventually, it will always all be free at the point of delivery because my month-to-month costs will be funded by supporters who believe that this work is important. Yeah, my initial goal for the end of next year, 2025, is to have 1,000 supporters who are supporting me at £2 a month. That will sustain me month to month. That will be my operating costs month to month. And that will be enough for me. Of course, anything more I achieve will enable me to invest in all that I'm doing. And I'm doing a lot. I'm writing 2 books. I'm developing the content of the training. I'm transitioning everything I do to a learning management system so that I can track and assess. I'm finding that if students haven't done the pre-work, the live training isn't as good for them. They don't get as much from it. It's not as practically orientated because I have to keep going over basic principles. So there's lots happening here. Now, my progress towards these goals might be slowed down by the fact that I might have to get a part-time job because at the moment the revenue isn't coming in doing this. If you've listened this long, I'll be very surprised. If you have, you are one of the people that can support me. And I urge you to. Well, when I say I urge you to, what I mean is if you have a stirring inside when I talk about transforming the experience of birthing women worldwide, if your values are women are sovereign, that they have the efficacy inside to birth, we don't have to empower them. We do have to create environments where that power within them is enabled to express itself in its fullest sense. Well, then you're one of my tribe, the tribe that I am in. And if you can spare £2 a month, thank you. I have plans. Yeah, I'm planning a language training, taking the language models of NLP, the meta model and the Milton model, transforming the teaching of them in such a way that they're easy to grasp, that the distinguishers in people's language and bodies that point towards one of the patterns and actually one of the meta program patterns of NLP, so that birth professionals can begin to see these things and hear these things in the languaging of their clients. I want to teach it so that it can be applied straight away. If you're a birth professional, a midwife, an obstetrician, God, I had a woman from Germany tell me that her birth, she did not perceive it as traumatic until she went to debrief. And in debrief, She had a forceps birth, and she found out that the doctor had written in the notes as the reason for the forceps birth lack of maternal effort. And in that moment, of course, she's had to go inside, find reference experiences when she has failed to do something because she perceives she didn't try hard enough. And that all happens in a split second. And in that moment, she told me the whole thing became her responsibility, her fault. That's a scandal, right? So if you're a doctor, an obstetrician, this language training will transform the way that you engage with women. And it will probably transform your life too. Because as Heidegger said, language is the house of being wherein mankind dwells. Our experiences is shaped by our language. Not only that, the things we see in the world, the predictions we make in the world about our physical safety and our emotional, psychological safety are informed by languaging. I think training doctors, midwives, nurses, even in another context, antenatal teachers, perinatal specialists, baby massagers, yoga pregnancy teachers, training all of the doulas, God, especially doulas, training all these professionals in the language models of NLP applied to birth would begin to transform the experience of birthing women in the UK. And that's what I'm doing. And if you want to support me, my expertise, stump up £2 a month. Just do it, will you? If you support this. If you don't, you'd clicked off by now. Anyway, that's me. Bit of a rant. Gonna post this unedited on YouTube. And thank you.